Alright folks, welcome back. Today I'm going to go over the top 10 reasons why I think you should own chickens. The elephant in the room, so to speak, is eggs. That's number one. The number one reason people raise chickens is for the eggs. The eggs are more nutritious. You can look up videos and look up pictures of yard eggs versus store-bought eggs, and there's a world of difference. And number two on my list is the proximity of the egg. Now, if you own chickens, you can walk right out in your backyard where I'm at now and get eggs. You don't have to drive to the store to buy something that is now way overpriced and of a lot less quality. For example, house, eggs. Basically what I'm saying is it's real nice to have an egg factory in your backyard. And number three, chickens will eat everything, or they'll try to anyway. Chickens are feathered pigs, I'm convinced. I mean, anything that you would eat, a chicken can eat. I mean, rice, beans, fruits, vegetables, even meat. Chickens even eat chicken. And that's convenient because we have a lot of table scraps and, well, they eat them all. And they turn our table scraps into eggs. Now think about that for a minute. Every time you throw scraps in the garbage, it's like you're throwing eggs in the garbage, because chickens will take those scraps and turn them into eggs for you. That is an outstanding return on your investment that you were throwing away anyway. Now let's take a look at what we got here. Strawberries, old grapes, some peppers, eggshells, all this. Now of course you can buy laying pellets and corn and scratch grain and stuff like that. We do a lot too, but there's no sense that your kitchen scraps can't go out to the chickens and turn those kitchen scraps into eggs. I mean, for pretty much no money. Which brings me to point number four. They are very cheap to keep. Now of course, like anything, you can spend what you want to spend and you know, make things as nice and fancy as possible, but at the end of the day, a chicken is a chicken. And if it costs you an arm and a leg to raise chickens, it's your fault, not theirs. Number five, if you're just into chickens for the eggs, you do not have to have a rooster. Now, a lot of people don't want a rooster crowing at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you may live in a neighborhood that won't allow you to have roosters crowing at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, eggs come from female chickens, which are those over there. Eggs don't come from these hard heads right here. Unless you want fertile eggs, then you have to have one of them. Preferably not two. And that brings us to point number 6. They repopulate by themselves. You don't have to do much. If you decide your flock's not big enough, all you have to do is let the hens lay eggs and let them collect in a nest, and one of the hens will turn broody, and then she'll just start sitting on the eggs, and she will sit there for 21 days until those eggs hatch. You don't have to do anything. And number 7, you can sell the eggs. You'll have to check with your local laws to make sure, but I don't know of anywhere that you can't just sell an egg out of your house. You may not have thought about it, but I mean, as cheap as it is to keep 6 or 8 chickens in their prime, you know, in the springtime and when the days are long, when they're laying an egg a day, you got 6 or 8 hens, you're looking at a dozen eggs every other day. And for most families, that would be hard to eat. And number 8, chickens can teach your kids basic responsibility. It may even teach some of y'all basic responsibility. Some of y'all may not be responsible, but it's easy to think about owning chickens and going out there and messing with them and feeding them in the springtime when the sun's shining and the light breeze is blowing and everything's happy. But it's a little bit different when it's a thunderstorm, wind blowing sideways, and you stomping out through the mud trying to get eggs. It'll teach them basic responsibility of no matter what the weather's doing, you have to go take care of the chickens. Number 9, they are recession-proof. Recession, depression-proof. Now, I'm not a doomsdayer by any stretch of imagination, but you can look into the near future and you can tell that things don't look very bright. And there's not much we can do about that outside of the voting booth, but we can have egg factories in our backyard. These chickens don't care what the Dow Jones looks like. They don't care who's in the White House. All they care about is getting a little bit to eat, a little bit to drink, and laying eggs. And number 10, my last and final point, it is subjective. But once you start living this chicken life, there's no way out. you're stuck forever. You'll have chicken t-shirts, chicken boots, chicken salt shakers and pepper shakers, and you'll start hanging out with other weird chicken people. People at Tractor Supply is gonna know you on a first name basis. You're gonna have lots of empty feed sacks. You're gonna find the chickens that you didn't know existed, the ones that's got the mohawk on their head. You're gonna start building incubators out of refrigerators. You're gonna start hoarding chicken wire. Basically what I'm getting at is be careful, because if you step in, there ain't no stepping out.